Hi, this is Avani, UKSoulQueenDiva. Welcome to the channel. This is a new thing for me. I've decided I'm going to finally bite the bullet and start trying to do more things on another platform as well, here on YouTube. I don't even know where to start. So much has happened. This is something I've been thinking about doing for quite a long time, and I know that it has taken me a lot longer than it should have done to finally turn my attention back to this and do more things in this vein. I'm not sure where it's going to take me. I don't know what it could lead to. I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing for myself, but it's just something I decided I want to try because so much has happened to me. A lot has happened to me. I've been going through it. I mean, I could be all day explaining about what's happening and all the things that have happened up to this point, why I have had to put things on the back burner, health, all sorts of things. It's just, I have been pushed, and I'm finally saying, if you don't get started, you will continuously still stay in the same place. And because I've been through that before, where things have had to come to a halt because of other things that have been happening in the background, and it takes so long. Well, it has taken so long for me to get back on my feet and be able to put my energy on the things I want to put my energies on. I know what that's like. I can safely say I'm trying so hard not to go down that rabbit hole again. And I suppose this is a way for me to use my voice and also take my voice back. Because when you've been given your energy, time, emotion, creativity, all the things, and it's been going into other places, but you feel like you're not advancing in the way that you want to and should be, considering all the work and stuff that you've been putting into things in all different arenas and areas of life. This is why you have to decide what you're going to do moving forward. I'm realizing for me, I've got to put one foot in front of the other and just keep trying to move forward. There's going to be times where, it's definitely going to be not what I want it to be. It's not going to look as smooth and as polished maybe as maybe somebody else who may be doing something, because you never know. The only thing you can do is do for yourself and do things the way that they work for you, because we all only have one life, unless you believe in reincarnation and you think you're going to come back again. But then again, think about it. If you did reincarnate and come back again, would you come back as the same person, just on a different timeline, or would you come back as a completely different person? Okay, let me just be real. Me, if I came back reincarnated, I still want to be black, I still want to be a woman. I'm not changing those things. It just is what it is. I've decided that however many lifetimes I may live, I still want to be who I am in terms of a woman, a black woman, neurodivergent. It just is what it is. I've had too many things happen to me in my life to realize that I don't want to change anything. Even if I could change everything, I've decided I don't want to. There's so much that I could do and want to do. And we know the time on earth is very finite, even though most people, I'm sure, believe that our souls are infinite and we can exist in other dimensions, other planes. I don't know. There's things I need to start getting more into the habit of doing. Putting my thoughts out instead of keeping it to myself when I really do have so much to say isn't one of them for me. I'm just going to have to take it one day at a time. One moment at a time. Just keep going. Keep pushing. All of this is so new for me. I've been behind the scenes even learning how to do the most basic of things in terms of uploading videos, for example. It wasn't even something I've ever really had to do before, but ironically, in the last couple of years, I've been having to do it a lot. And I realised I don't just want to have to do it because I need to document things that have been happening behind the scenes as evidence, as proof. I should use it to be able to put things out that I really want to share and get into more creative things again. Because I feel like that was taken away from me because so many things changed in my life behind the scenes. Like I mentioned earlier, I finally got officially diagnosed as being neurodivergent, which I always had a feeling about, funnily enough, but I just never let other people know that it was something I thought of about myself. Because apparently, when you're neurodivergent, this is something that other people, especially other adults, are supposed to tell you, especially when you've been showing all kinds of symptoms since you were a kid. But I just got all the other labels instead. Oh, she's weird and she talks a lot and, you know, you always stand out. And when you keep getting told that, when you're a child, all you really want to do is fit in to a degree. But when you realise, and as the saying goes, you know, why keep trying to fit in when you were born to stand out? That you start to realise, yeah, I need to stop trying to do something that is obviously not meant to be. Now, the reason I can say this is because people will say, oh, when you try and do things, for example, in the world, you know, when you have a skill set for a job, for example, and there's like pathways to learning a craft, practicing, becoming better, becoming qualified, if that's the road that you need to take to be able to be actually able to do the job, right? People will say that there's a specific timeline, there's a blueprint, there's things that you must do to qualify and be recognized and be able to say, I can truly do whatever that is, X, Y, Z. Now, I have tried to do things in specific ways multiple times, I might add, for example, and whenever I tried to do it the way that other people said it should be done, it never worked for me. And the reason I can say I know it never worked because, like I said, I tried and tried and tried. And it wasn't happening. So it was like, okay, look, you're going to have to step back and decide, what do you want to do? How are you going to keep trying to move forward and progress? And for me, whenever I've said, okay, let me approach this from a different angle, different viewpoint, try do things, just decide to do things the way you might find a way for it to work, then I started getting results. And I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. Okay, it's not going to be the way other people say that I should be doing it, but at least I can make some inroads. Obviously, life will always get in the way of anything you're doing, and there's times where you have to step back. Believe me, I know. Burnout is a thing. And especially when you're struggling with other things as well, with your health and such, things are going to end up taking a back seat because you're literally trying to get healthy, trying to find ways to cope with whatever else is going on in your life. So you will end up having to sort of put things on the back burner and say, right. But for me, it's always been a burning ambition for me to do a lot of stuff. And it's like, I have to find a way to get back into that. Because if I don't, I'm always going to regret it. And sometimes things have taken not just weeks and months, but years to finally be able to find my way back. And I'm like, okay, you got to try again because you're still here. You know, your time hasn't ended yet. So it's time to just do it. It's time to push forward. It's time to say, okay, I'm going to try this yet another way. At least it proves that you're versatile, right? Because no matter how many times you've been pushed off your square, you didn't sit down and completely give up. So that is, I hope whoever needs to hear that takes whatever they need to take from this and uses it to fuel them, because I've had to be the one to tell myself this many, many times over and over again. Because if you don't do for yourself and apply for yourself, well, as they say, nobody ain't coming to save you. It's not a nice thing to have to hear, but it's the truth. Sometimes you just have to hear the truth and be like, you know what? Because as they say, again, the truth will set you free. You have to do what you need to do. Sometimes it's not going to be pretty the way you get back on your feet. Funny, years ago, I went to Jemeker on holiday. That's another story in and of itself. But never mind. Basically, I went to climb the falls, right? And I had people with me, and obviously I'm not good at doing things like that. And it wasn't a pretty sight in terms of like limbs everywhere and not looking ladylike doing it, basically. And I did it because I'm stubborn. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to attempt. But everyone was laughing at me. And I remember thinking, well, you know, I told you I was going to do it. I never said it was going to look cute, you know, but anyone who's done anything like that, where, especially if it's something you've never done before, and you're like, okay, this is another test I'm going to put myself through. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do that. The point I'm making is sometimes doing things is not going to work the way other people expect it to work. It's not going to be done in the exact way that someone else says it should be done, or that someone else says that they would have done it to be able to achieve the results. Nothing, I mean, life is not neat and tidy, little squares, boxes, tick this, tick that. It doesn't work like that. Especially when you're like me and everything has been a trial and error, and you have to be like, okay, let me see. Let me try this. Let me try that. Let me do something. Let me decide to just be present in the moment, push forward, do what I can do, see how I feel, see what works, see what doesn't work. Everything is not, and obviously people, we're not a monolith. For example, not all black people do the same things. I mean, I don't understand why the universe, when I say the universe, I mean society as a whole. I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole on that. But we're all different. I mean, even people in your family, you're not all going to agree on the same things. You're not all going to like the same things. You're not all going to want to have the same things in your life. It's, you know, people trying to tell you, oh, especially as a woman, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And how come you haven't done X and Y and Z by whatever age? No, because I didn't want to. And even if I did do certain things or do them by a certain age, they're still going to look different to what you've done in your life, because that's your life and this is my life. And if I don't want to do something, then I don't have to, do I? And people love to judge and criticize and have opinions, especially when you ain't asked their opinion. You don't ask them nothing. They need to learn to mind their business. but they don't want to do that. And then you think, well, this is another reason why I'm like, okay, you know what? Just smile, let them think whatever they want because you don't care and your life is not their business anyway. They need to keep it pushing and you just do you. You'll be happier. You know, I like to mind my business because believe me, I got a lot of business to mind and I just need to keep it pushing. Life is short. Life can be very stressful. In and of itself, why are you worrying about what other people think? Because are they helping you 9 times out of 10? No, they're not. So it's just, I don't know. I had to find a way to force myself to just try to concentrate and just say, listen, just be in the moment again. Especially, I don't know if anyone can identify with this, but as a neurodivergent person, a million thoughts are going through my mind at any given moment of, I need to do this and that and that and that and that. It's a lot. It's like, okay, just breathe. Decide that you're going to do this, even if it's just in that moment, even if you can only manage a certain time frame before you realize, I got to go off and do something else. Because you feel compelled. I don't even know how to describe this. I'm not sure if people will really understand, but I'm the kind of person, I get distracted so many times in a day. I'll be doing one thing and then my mind's like, oh yeah, I forgot to do this and go and do that and go and do that. And I'll end up with stuff where I'm having to come back and finish a task because I got waylaid mentally in the middle of it. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to do this. And I remember I need to do that and da-da-da-da-da. Round and round and round. This happens all the time. This has been happening to me my whole life. So I'm getting obviously used to having to find ways to navigate that. But trying to explain it to other people, obviously only who feels it knows it. So unless you're a fellow neurodivergent and you have this type of mindset in terms of getting distracted and really having to pull yourself back into the moment of, okay, no, I need to do this. Sometimes I just let that distraction take me over to the point where I'm like, no, take a break because I can't concentrate in the moment or whatever it is I'm trying to do. So it's like, okay, let me just take the break, go off and indulge my mind on that other thing that it wants me to go and do because the task I'm doing in the moment might be really boring and mundane anyway. So it's like, all right, just wait, you can come back to this. Go off and feed your mind of the other thing that actually held your interest. It's just always a case of, oh God, am I spending too much time on something else that truly interests me when I really need to go back and do the task or tasks that are not that interesting but are really necessary, you know, just for your life to keep going. Please let me know what you think about all this. It's just, these are just my thoughts. This is me trying to start because I have been putting this off for so long. Oof, if I tell you, I kept saying I was going to do stuff and I'd start and then I'd be like getting waylaid off onto other things and then it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't bother. It's a lot. And I'm starting to feel like I've got to find a way. So this is another way I'm going to approach this of saying, right, I'm going to start this. I have to start this. I have to do something to push myself to that next stage of what I have in my head, making it become a reality because I was doing things in the past and it's like, okay, you get to a certain point and you want to push to the next stage and it becomes really hard. You're like, especially when it's a path that's not specific, it's not chartered, it's not, I'm the type of chick, when everyone is going right, I'm going left, happily, by myself, with no concrete, clear plan in place, no definitive, true focus. I might be able to say, yeah, I want to hit these points along the way, but I've not got a clear plan. It's not all, a list of things, tasks, things I need to get to make things happen. My brain doesn't work like that. I've had to learn that the hard way. And it's like, okay, what do I do? I just have to be trying to be more focused, I suppose. It's really hard though, but I suppose I can just do the best I can do and just try and be on the journey. Hopefully you'll be on the journey with me, and then you can let me know if there is a true method to the madness, as it were. But I have to start somewhere. I wanted to see how I would feel finally forcing myself to put this out, because I kept saying I was going to do it and I hadn't got around to it. And it's like, no, you do not want to be looking back and saying, I meant to start that however many months ago and I still haven't got around to it. That is so frustrating. Oh God. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. This is Avani, UKSoulQueenDiva, signing off, signing out. And hopefully you will hear from me again soon. Don't you